It's also around this time in the count when SpaceX pauses the propellant load on the ship's main tanks and switches to filling the header tanks with propellants. This will lead to more venting, but this time from the ship's nose cone. After loading nearly 5,000 tons of propellants across all 6 of Starship's tanks in less than 45 minutes, the propellant load sequence will end, wrapping up first on the ship at T-minus 3 minutes and 20 seconds, followed by the booster 30 seconds later. SpaceX has an optional hold point.
これは、
The clock can be paused
ちょっと待ってよ。
minutes if teams need some
いやい
extra
や、
time.
こうして、
But
ちょっ
since
と
it's
私が、
optional, they can always decide not to use it and just
こう
keep
しよう。
counting down.
こうすれ
At
ばいいよね。
T-minus 30 seconds, the flight director will give the final go for
はい、
launch.
こう、こう、
The
こう、こう、
detonation
こう。
suppression system
はい。
will also
本当はです
activate the
ね、
launch mount, clearing all gaseous methane
今朝、
from the area under
日本時間で今朝打ち上げがありました、スターシップ。
flame deflector and water
それをです
will
ね、
be activated to protect
本当は私もライブで流したかったんですけども、社会人ですからね。
will ignite at T-minus
そこは涙を飲んで、会社に行って、
followed by 15 of the 20 outer engines just
そして今、ライブのつもりで、
8 seconds afterward.
っていう感じで、疑似ライブということで、12時間遅れ、私だけ12時間遅れてます。世界の時間から私だけ12時間遅れてます。そんな感じで、ちょっと放送しますよ。ちょっとね、あれこうなんかね、またもしかしたら二重で入ってるこれ。まあいいや。はい。ちょっと二重になったらごめんなさい。前回に二重になっちゃったんですよね。音声がね。で、まあ、ちょっと確かめる手段がないので、このまま行きます。はい。もう一度言います。ライブではないです。録画です。社会人なので、録画でしか見れません。というわけで、打ち上げ、ここの左上を見てください。あと30分後、29分後、打ち上げです。サイトは NFS、NASA、スペースフライトさんの動画を拝借してます。まあ、スポーツ見てるような感じだよね。会社にいるときも、野球ね、サッカー、もう見ないで、楽しみにお家に帰って見る。そんな感じです。そんな感じだと思って、一緒に見ましょう。というわけで、はい。今回のタイムテーブルです。もう、あと30分後打ち上げなので、だいぶ、この辺の、もう終わっちゃってるんですけど、まあ、読み上げると、1時間15分前、フライトディレクター、世論調査これチームメンバーですね。チームメンバー、聞いて、で、推進剤の充填、どうですか確認します。53分前、スターシップの、燃料の充填開始します。45分前、液体酸素の、充填開始です。41分前、スーパーヘビ、下段側ですね。液体メタンの燃料です。燃料の積み込み開始です。それから35分前、スーパーヘビーの液体酸素ロード開始です。積み込み開始です。で、今この段階ですね。あれ、もう、 今、もうなんかぐちゃぐちゃになる。なんでこんなぐちゃぐちゃになるんだ。これですね。スーパーヘビ、やっぱり、ぐちゃぐちゃになる。ここです。スーパーヘビ。あれこれなんでこんなにまあいいや、もう。はい、ここです。なんかこう、クリックすると変なとこ飛んでっちゃうんだけど。もうちょっとおとなしくしてて。ひどいな。ひどいです。どこ行った？上行って。これちょっと画面大きくすれば落ち着くと思うんですが。画面大きくすると後ろが見えません。ダメだ。やっぱり、画面に比較して、大きすぎるんですね。今、ここですね。スーパーヘビーブースター側の液体酸素を積み込んでるところです。はい、とりあえず、こんなところですね。絵的にはこんな感じで、昨日、おととい、立て続けに2回、中止になったんですね、打ち上げ。おとといは、あれですね、機械トラブルですね。昨日は天候が悪くて、今日はいい感じです。てか、デスクトップに、通知が来たんで、もう目に入っちゃった。目に入っちゃったんですよ。目に入れたくなかったのに。という感じです。まあ、成功したんですね。ちゃダメですね。はい。あと25分。それから、右下に置いてあるのは、これ、通訳です。英語で何言ってるかよくわかんない人は、ここをちょっと見てください。といったところですね。
T-25 minutes on the dot. The clouds continuing to clear, the sun continuing to get lower in the sky as we approach the time.
いい天気ですね。
A question we've seen a few
いい天気ですよ。
Adrian, over the last few days is the jellyfish. We've seen it many
しかも眩しい。
because Falcon 9 has launched
ここのね、
many times.
これかっこいいですね。見てください、ここ。
Going to be launching in the conditions which are just going to be too bright.
ここ、液体酸素とか、液体メタンとかがこう蒸発してるんですね。ここもそうですけども、ここに、液体酸素、液体メタンの作る施設が、ここにあるんですが、ここから引いて積んでますと。これが今、蒸発してるような感じで、ノクノクしてます。
is still not enough for a jellyfish. If this launch would push like in the same time for 2 or 3 weeks, then we are getting
今回、スターシップ、10便のテストです。10便。テストです。でですね。私はおととい確認した、私は目で確認したところ、本当かどうかわかんないですよ。私の目で確認した。なので、つい先日、グリッドフィンのサイズが 50% 大型化っていうのが報道されたんですけど、私の見る限り、旧型使ってますね。これから、3枚フィンになるっていうことも報道されてるんですけど、私の目によるとですね、4枚使ってますね。従来通りの古い構成でやる、打ち上げますね。
too concerned about that, at least for the time being.
はい。なので、3枚フィン、それから大型化っていうのは、多分、疑似会になると思います。第12便で登場すると思いますよ。まあ、その時また詳しくやりますね。なぜ3枚なぜ大型化後で、まあ、これ、まあ、今回こういうタイプでやるんですけども、スーパーヘビーブースターが下側、で、真ん中にステージングリングがあって、上に、スターシップが乗っかります。そして、このステージングリング、ところどころに、このちっちゃいのね、このちっちゃい穴から噴射の炎が出ますと、エキゾーストが出ますと。そしてここの部分っていうのが、エキゾーストは、まあ、当然遮られる。っていう場所なんですけども、この構造によって、スーパーヘビーブースターのフリップする、回転する方向を決めるんですね。そういう制御を今回やると思います。12便から変わりますね。そこら辺の。それはまた12便近づいたらまたやりましょう。今は、こんな風に、レーダー、スターシップ、そして、ラプターエンジンなんですけども、ラプターエンジンの、噴射熱で持って、弾く、スーパーヘビーブースターをこちらに弾くんですね。そういう制御してますよ。今回ね、やるかと思ってね、いろいろ用意してきたんですけども、これも今回じゃないですね。前回、前々回なんですが、スーパーヘビーブースターの下段には、液体メタンが入ってます。上半分は液体酸素が入ってます。そして液体酸素は、パイプで持ってエンジンまで運ばれてるんですが、これがちょっと細くてですね、うまく、エンジンのところで混ざらなかったんですね。で、それで、まあ、結果的には、燃焼不良を起こして、爆発してしまったんですけども、これを解決するために、ここの真ん中のパイプをこのくらい大きくしました。これファルコン9ほどの厚さがあるんですよ。これも12便からですね。今回は細いままでいきます。それから今回は、スターリンク模擬衛星8機搭載してますよ。こういうお口になってて、こっから、スターリンク衛星の模擬衛星を発射すると。こういうのを今回やる予定です。で、前回はですね、この頭の部分の内圧がめちゃくちゃ上がっちゃって、この口を開くと、ここがガスが出て、スターシップくるくる回っちゃうんですよ。そういう恐れがあったので、開けられませんでした。なので、この放射も、発射も今回初めてですね。これも見ものです。それから今回、スーパーヘビーブースターの着陸なんですが、会場でやります。会場で、スターシップには 基地がこの海の上にあるよって思い込ませといて、そこのバーチャル基地にですね、着陸してもらうと。ただ本当に、まあ、目かじらがあるわけではないので、海にドポーンと落ちちゃう。で、まあ、それはそうなんですが、その時の、エンジンですね、最終的には、2台で、着水します。2台でホバリング&着水。1台が調子悪いという見立てでやりますよ。そのための補助のブースター1台つけます。これがこの構成でうまくいけるかどうかっていうのを見たいということですね。そういう試験をします。
I fully agree.
それから宇宙空間でスターシップのエンジンの再点火やってみます。そういうテストも入ってますよ。再点火っていうのは、まあ難しい話なんですよね。まあ、自動車だったら、エンジンの再点火って普通の話なんですけども、宇宙船にとっては、エンジン再点火っていうのはなかなか難しいお話なんですね。で、それを今回テストします。はい。それと、今回ちょっと目玉なのが、タイルですね。金属タイル、なんか複数種類やるみたいですね。前回の私の放送で金属タイルの詳しい話をしていますので、詳しい話を知りたい方はそちらを聞いてみてください。アクティブ冷却タイルですね。多分種類がいくつかあるんですが、そのうちの一つが、タイルの表面にうっすら冷たい液体を流して、それを蒸発させて、で、それで耐えてやろう、熱を耐えてやろうっていう、そういうことをしますよ。そういうテストしますよ。後ろもちょっといろいろやってますね。あ、これ、なんかやってますね。まあこれ弁当の話してますね。これ、はい。後ろ何やってるかというと、今これもくもくしてて、これ地上設備がもくもくしてるんですが、宇宙船の方ももくもくしてますね。ここの話をしてたと思います。これマイナス160とか、マイナス170度ぐらいの液体メタンとか液体酸素を入れるんですけど、大気との温度差があるので、もう入れた瞬間、こうやって蒸発するんですね。で、これをベントって言って、宇宙船の中からこう圧力を上げすぎないために換気してあげますね。換気した結果こういう風にもくもくしてるんですよ。そういう感じになってます。ちなみにスターシップはですね、燃料タンクみたいな概念がないんですよ。燃料タンクとか液体酸素タンクとかそういう概念がなくて、この外にスタンレスの側で作ってるんですけど、ここに直接入れてるんですね。普通のロケットだったら断熱した液体メタンタンクとか液体酸素タンクとかね、タンクという形で積むんですけど、スターシップの場合はそのタンクがないです。直接ドボ入れてますね。 なので、この側、ステンレスの、ほんの数ミリの厚さの内側は、もう液体メタンとか液体酸素です。
We've got cameras, we've got people with cell phones. We are up here ready to see this thing go. I've got my Xbox controller. We've checked out all the systems. I'm about to do a little rocket blessing. If you see my mount go up and down,
この人も興奮してますね。
making sure that all the axes are freed up so that I can move in whatever direction I need to move. But we are good to go. It's nice and clear all the way across. It's nice and clear the way out, I guess. If this thing takes off, it is a beautiful shot. And I will lose it because it gets too small.
天気がいいのか、多分天気の話してますね。見晴らしがいいっていうことを言ってますね。
So I'll keep the robotic mount on the booster and we'll see if we can't catch that hover out there. Hopefully, it is just absolutely beautiful behind us right now. So there's a cloud somewhere. We should all collectively shake our fist at it like old men.
今日はいけるだろうって踏んでますね。踏んでる感じですね。昨日、一昨日と、ね、この人たち、もうスタンバってたんですよね。っていうか、もう放送半分してましたからね。半分っていうかもう何時間もしてましたからね。すごいがっかりしてましたよね。今回は、ちょっと打ち上がるっていう確信を得てる。そんな感じですね。
We could be 16 minutes away from seeing Booster 13 hovering above the Gulf. That is quite something. We could be just a moments away.
ここ、役が結構めちゃくちゃですね。これね、ものすごい望遠で撮ってるんですよね。さっきのお兄さんが、めちゃくちゃ望遠で撮ってるのはこの映像ですよ。すごい絵になりますね。
Green, green, green. Weather green. Range green. Vehicle green. T-minus 10.5 minutes. This is so much better than it was looking yesterday and before.
Is chat also green? Chat, are you green?
Better be.
All
Just
the
checking.
members are probably green because your name turns green if you become a member.
あと、何分？あと10分。あと10分で打ち上げですよ。楽しみですね。
Main tanks look to be nearly full. They are probably now loading fuel and of course
トイレからの発射になります。
Really great.
で、今、燃料充填。してるんですけども、結構今、90何%って言いましたね。さっきの画像でね。これ、打ち上げ直前まで多分ずっと入れてますよ。あ、これね、タイムテーブル出しましょう。どこ行った？タイムテーブル？あれ？タイムテーブルどこ行った？これか。今、あと10分後なんで、結構この辺まで来て、エンジンチールってなんだ？エンジンチールってなんだろう？よくわからない。
Of course, I feel like as we approach T-minus 9 minutes, it's just for a moment.
打ち上げ3分前
Ship 36
まで入れてるんですね。
This flight attempt, we lost it 2 months ago. Ship 37 taking its place as the upper stage for Starship 10. We could be 8.5 minutes away from launch if everything continues to track.
ちなみにロケットとしては、液体メタンも液体酸素も、他のロケットに比べて、だいぶ冷たくしたものを入れてます。 というのも、まあ、さっき言った通り、タンクがないので、断熱したタンクがないので、どんどん蒸発しちゃうんですよ。で、それを遅らせるために、他のロケットよりも、冷やしたやつ入れてるんですね。スターシップの場合は。
The final, we always know, the final minute or so before launch, where the tanks get pressurized, where the Raptors are getting ready,
あと、そう言ってると、あと、8分、
あと8分、in that particular segment. So that is really another crunch time for them.
まあ、絵は、絵面は変わらないんですが、
because at that point in time, the vehicle is of course in full charge. But if they clear this, and they have done
金属タイルを積んでるということで、これ実機で金属タイル積んだものって存在しないんですよ。いや、試験機はあるんですけど、空飛んだ機体で、飛行機も、ロケットも、空を飛んでる状態のものに、金属タイルって積んだことないんですよ。地上にいる試験機には積んだことあるんですけども、で、金属タイルを積んだまま、まあ、今回飛ぶんですけど、これができたら、快挙ですよ。それから、タイルの性能っていうか、タイルが剥がれた時の、まあ、テストとして、わざと、タイル外してる部分があります。そこの試験もしますね、今回。なので、弱い部分をわざと作ってるんですね。まあ、前回も前々回も、その前も、そういうの作ったんですけども、うまく体験に帰ってこれなかったんで、事実上、今回は初試験ですね。この3回爆発してますからね。そういう意味でもちょっと楽しみですよ。
There's Kevin. Quick Kevin behind the scenes camera of all the different cameras we have going live right now from Starbase. Yeah, I think I can imagine Kevin is doing some deep breaths right now. Experience on the production team. We're also doing some deep breaths right now.
どうもありがとうございます。すみません。見てくれてどうもありがとうございます。録画です、録画。not live。一応社会人ですので、まあ会社に行ってましたので、働いてましたので、で、今、録画で、疑似ライブです。バーチャルライブです。音にエコーかかってる？困ったな。これどうしたらいいんだ？どうしたらいいの？これね、どうしよう。こうして、あれ、どれかな？どれだろう？ちょっと待ってね。これ外して、ちょっと待って、この辺外して、ウィンドウ的には、ちょっと待ってね。こうして、
have, yes, exactly. We have blue sky. We have green weather. There's no anvil clouds.
これはどうでしょう。こうしたらどうダブりますか。 No echo.
And we should now have seen ship
なんて書い
propellant
たらいいんだ。
load
エコー。
wrapped. If we see that tower vent returning, that is a complete confirmation of the wrap up of ship load, which should be any second now or should have already happened.
こうかな。
But yeah,
こう書いたらわかる。
it's gonna be amazing. I think I see it. I think I see barely a tower vent
あ、
there.
こう
Yep, there it is. So ship is
tripping
fully
down the side
loaded.
of the tower.
Yep,
There we
ship is
go.
fully loaded, and just to count it in, this is now also where the
Now
booster is
Hana.
full. So if you go down to the
Because-
OLM, I'm sorry, producers, I know I make this very exhausting for you, but if you go down now to the bottom of the OLM, the next thing we should see is that the OLM vent returns, and that means that we have a full booster.
Okay,
Just look at that OLM.
Oh,
Any
oh,
second
okay,
now
listen.
we should
Oh,
see
okay.
a beautiful return of that OLM vent, hopefully, unless they are running a bit late with that booster.
あ、な
Keep
った
your
なっ
eyes
た
peeled,
オッケーオッケー。オッ
looking
ケーです。
just underneath that black
Okay.
structure on the
There it
left.
is.
There it is. OLM vent returns.
Booster load is complete. And
Deep
we
breaths,
have
everyone.
also... Sorry, Ryan.
よかった。ありがとうございますね。
Confirmation from SpaceX also that due to limited commodities, if they would stand down today, which right now it doesn't look like it, they would not be able. They would not be for sure if they could try tomorrow because there might be a lack of commodities. So that is just an information. Should that happen, of course we don't want that to happen. Back to you.
We are hearing
ありがとうございます。
planning to take that 40-second hold. I will say it again. SpaceX are not planning to take the T-minus 40-second hold. So we could be,
そうね。
everything's looking good, 1 minute, 20 seconds away from launch at this point in time. We should blast through that.
あ、すごい綺麗。
We should see the flame deflector
Beautiful.
lighting up. We should see those engines lighting up
Sunset.
afterwards. Those just beautiful, beautiful
Oh,
engines. The
wonderful.
super heavy engine configuration is just
あ、これね。ラプターエンジン
incredible.
で
I
す
think
ね。
it's
下
one
か
of
ら
the
見
most
たね。
incredible engineering things ever accomplished. We've got
そ
SpaceX
して
teams
こ
watching
れ
in
は
Starbase,
あ
SpaceX
の
teams watching in Hawthorne,
社員 な
California.
ん
They're
で
very
しょうかね。
excited. We're very excited. Everyone in chat should
多
be
分
very
スペース
excited.
X の社
Under a
員
minute from launch. 45
だと思うんですけれども、あ、わかんない
to
な。
go. Let's look out for the detonation suppression system underneath the
め
orbital
めっちゃ遠いとこ
launch
から
mount, and
干
then
渉
that
してます
flame
よ。
deflector lighting up as well. 40 seconds to go. We should be blasting through that hold point.
はい。
30 seconds
あ、もう
now. We are
あと
going
30秒。
through the hold. There is no hold. We are counting down. Let's look for that detonation
あ
suppression
と30
system,
秒で
which we should see underneath the booster any moment now. T-minus 20 seconds.
発射します。
Here it comes.
スーパーヘビー
Stand
ブ
by
ースタ
for
ー。
the deluge.
液体メタンの色は紫色ですよ。
There's the deluge. Here's ignition.
マハダイヤモンドも見物。来ました。綺麗な、今綺麗にカウントダウンいきましたよ。で、夕日に照らされて、この色。パープル、紫色のバスボート。ソニックブーム。これソニックブームの音ですね。うん、すごいゴーン響かして、紫色のこの排気ジェット吹きながら飛んできま
We
す。
are 60 seconds into flight. Starship is well
あ
and truly
あ、すごいすごい。
on our
見て
way.
見て見て。
Vapor cone. Oh
ここ
my
ね、
goodness. Look at that live
空
shot
気
of
圧縮して飛んでますよ。
Starship into space. We are 33 engines for 33 engines on the super heavy booster. We are headed to hot staging.
Amazing. That was stunning.
熱い熱い。あ、ホットホットって言ってんだ。あ、気分がね、気分が。まあ、気温も暑いだろうけど、気分がこう、ホットなんですね。
It's
フィーリングホットなんね。
amazing vapor cone as Starship was just punching through the atmosphere, getting into space. So far, so good.
めちゃくちゃ
Have they lost an engine? So we're now
興奮してますね。
33 engines. Alex, whereabout is that engine on the booster? Is that one of the center?
これ現地で見たいですね。現場でね。
Okay. That's going to be interesting to see how they play out for the rest of the flight, because remember, the super heavy booster intended to do an experimental landing burn.
これ、現場にいたら、スーパーヘビーの分離まで見えちゃいますからね。目で。自分の目でね。あ、すいません。日本語で書いてもらってすいません。あ、ロシアの方なんですよ。
All but 3 of those super heavy engines shutting down. The ship 6 engines not lighting up.
今、ロシア何時ですか？
Let's watch from on board these vehicles.
ちなみに日本は夜9時半です。
And we have the shutdown on the super heavy, the ignition of the vacuums, the ignition of the centers, and we
ロシアだとあんまり日本と変わんないかな。
The ship has separated and the booster is now flipping around. The middle ring ignited on the super heavy. That is now heading not back to the launch site, but close to it. We're going to the Gulf with super heavy booster 16 this time around. So let's keep an eye on that boost back burn to continue going. Ship on its way to its near orbital trajectory. Adrian, let's throw it to you.
Absolutely, and the good news here we are seeing, Ryan, of course it's early in the flight, but 6 healthy Raptor engines on the ship. That is what we want to see. Yes, the booster is an interesting topic, but of course the big ticket item today is that ship, and we want to see these 6 Raptor engine continue to burn.
今15時半なんですか。
The middle ring of engines shut down on the super heavy booster. Those 3 Raptor middle engines continue burning for a few seconds longer. And then after that, we should see the launch, excuse me, the staging ring jettison from the booster. SpaceX doesn't keep on track for this Block 2 generation of booster because it's simply too heavy. It messes up its aerodynamics and its mass on the way back in.
And we can confirm that the boost back burn has shut down on the booster.
そろそろ
That single engine that went out on ascent is also what was also out on the boost back burn. So it's gonna be interesting. I'm starting to think that it probably just is not there. Maybe because usually they try to relight it. Yeah.
Yeah,
動きが速くて、私が追いつかない。
A Raptor go out in flight on the booster before, and then it came back. That engine relit for the landing burn. So that could happen this time around if indeed the engine is still there. I'm not sure which particular booster that was, but we can see now the venting from the booster. Alex, this all looks nominal, correct?
3回目の挑戦でね。
The venting is normal. They dump the propellant on the main tank. Now they're going to be using just the landing tank. So
you can see separation of the hot staging ring and the super heavy booster. Those are separating away. As things stand, see them kind of glide down towards the ocean at the current same relative rate.
今ステージングリングも
here it comes. The booster will start to fly
分かれて
towards the ocean, and the
分かれちゃうんですけど、
it's kind of like a pancake.
フライト12からはスーパーヘビーとフライトリングが合体しますね。一体化しますね。ブースター帰ってきてるところですね。
Not as punchy as they tested before, but still a big punch in terms of aerodynamic forces that will go through this booster. So I want to preempt this. There is a non-zero chance that that booster might solve some structural issues. Go ahead, Alex.
I don't think they're trying that on this one. They're actually not trying to force that, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, okay.
So the entry should be a normal one, but it is the one that we should be looking for, because that's the one that's going to be testing out interesting things.
向けて落ちてきてますよ。
landing burn, tracking the booster, going through that vapor.
スーパーヘビーブースト今落下中。
Stand by for engine ignition. It should be
制御されて落下中。大きな機体を大気に、逆噴射した。 逆噴射してますね。あ、だいぶもう地上来てます。もう逆噴射して速度殺してますよ。
And we should be getting a beautiful explosion. There is shutdown, and the booster plummets towards the water. Here it goes. Stand by for impact.
ホバリング、ホバリング。
It did use a middle ring of the engines, one of the engines on that middle ring. It did use successfully that one as a
最後噴射しなかっ
to one
た
of the。center engines. It did simulate successfully the engine out capability on landing. That was amazing.
どうだったんでしょうね。
Exactly what SpaceX wanted them to do.
最後噴射
Let's keep an eye
しなかったというか、
Six Raptors still burning.
全部止まっちゃった気がしますね。すべてのエンジンが止まった気がします。
But that could be a planned rotation.
はい、そして一方、スターシップ、
So at this point in time, with
夜
7
の地球へ
minutes and
突
20
入。
seconds into the burn, 6 Alpha Raptor engines, that's good. So far, we are not seeing any issues on this ship. Everything looking
こちらが
good, looking what we want
スター
to
シッ
see.
プのエンジンの状態。
Please do it, Ship 37.
あ、ちょっと見えない、もしかして。 こうか
Just
な
like happened
こうか
on
な
the last flight, when they do that directional flip with the
エンジ
booster
ン
hot station,
全部で6
they
機ついてま
rotate
す
it,。and then when the ship is going on its own, then it flips back to the original orientation from liftoff, right? And so that's essentially what they did with the ship on its own as it was going up into space. But so far so good. Let's hope it keeps continuing to be like that. Another
So
minute.
8 minutes into flight at this point, ship
そう
continuing on its
そう
way.
なんだ
We
けど、
are seconds away from
あれ
Seco.
あ、消え
This
ちゃった
is the point
Did we?
that ships in the first two
No.
blocks of flight
あららら
Yeah,
ら。
it's a bit longer, I think. They extended that a bit.
I heard a sonic boom, I think.
Either
But
way,
the
we're
one
getting very close to Seco. This is a point that the first two Block 2 ships didn't get to. The last ship did. However, it did see some issues which meant it lost attitude control. This is the time for SpaceX to improve on the previous flights. Look at those 6 Raptors still burning. 8 minutes, approaching 9 minutes into flight. Seco should be coming up. Oh, there it is.
Shutdown.
And with
今、
that shutdown,
8 分、
now
9
we're
分。
waiting because the last time the problems of course occurred there. But these vents that you're
8
seeing
分、
right
9 分、
now,
何
that's
す
all
るかという
okay.
とで
That's
すね、
all purging, that's all control. Everything looks good. I don't see anything
そろそろ
we don't
Seco.
expect at this point. And also, if I see it
Ship engine
correctly,
cut
来ま
off.
す
There
よ。
we go.
セカンドエンジンカットオフ
All
来ますよ。
engines have shut down. We are in the trajectory. Fingers crossed,
Nominal
SpaceX
orbit
says shortly.
insertion.
There we
Nominal
go.
insertion.
That is the correct trajectory for Ship 13. It is on its way to the Indian Ocean.
あ、もう終わった。
Seems to be holding.
and that's
あ、もう終わったかもしれない。
there was some venting there. I want to point that out. But that venting looks to
次
be
は18分27秒。
that is
シミュレーターの放出ですね。
after the Raptor
展開
engine
で
is
す
shut
ね。
down as we are seeing the people there at the outpost
まだでも
watching. But the ship, you can see it, it's
10分
stable
近くあ
in
る
the
ので
bottom right. It
もうちょっ
has
と
attitude
待ち
control.
ですね。
We are the
That's
camera
so
view you
cool.
are seeing right now is on the one of the forward flaps.
Yeah,
so the camera is
結構ね。
moving because they're moving the flaps in space. I don't think I've ever seen this before.
結構喋ってると、
Now
あっという間
before
に
entry.
時間が過ぎてきますね
Yeah,。like a
Entry
bit
is
of
still a
wiggle.
long way to go, but
慣れてないもんだから。
But I like this so far. Like
Oh.
we are usually pretty able to spot these kind of problems
す
once
ご
they
い綺麗
occur.
ですね。
So far, I'm not
地球、
spotting anything here that makes
フラップ越し
my
に地球が見えて
let's
ま
say
す。
makes me feel
夜の
bad.
地球、
So,
夕方の地球。
that's good. I want to hear this. I want to see this.
there's
And-
the timeline.
Yep, absolutely. Next up, and that's a very important
18分
milestone for the
27 秒
program,
に
is at
ペイロー
18
ド
minutes and 27 seconds, we will start to
展
see
開
the
します
payload deployment demonstration.
あと
That
あと
might
8
be
分
the
後。
first time that something is going to
こ
be
れも
released
うまくいくかどうか。前回できなかったので、
Intentionally.
intentionally, not the
こ
Raptor
れも見
nozzle.
ものですね。
But yeah, that is what we're. Alex, remind me how many
今、
Starlink
高度
simulators
は
are we
地球から
intending to see
160キロ
deployed at T plus 18 minutes and
上空ですよ。
seconds?
160キロ
Eight
上
of
空。
them should be deployed from Starship's payload bay.
マッハは大
We're
体、マッハ
entering
にして
now orbital sunset
速度はだいたい、
as
マッハ
Starship
で言う
heads
と、
into the shadow of
24と
And
か、
again, we should remind that
25
racing
と
is
か、
normal. One of the things of
そのくら
Starship
い
is
のマッ
that
ハ数のはず。
it carries a lot of propellant, right? But it also carries a lot of payload into orbit. And one of the things that they don't
宇
need
宙なんで
is
本当は
those
マッハ
tanks full
使えないん
or
ですけ
with
どね。
any sort of propellant for entry. Because they already have their landing tanks. Starship already has a set of landing tanks. The main tanks don't need to be full or with any
綺麗です
fluid at
ね。
all. So they're dumping
これ
all of
氷
that.
が
That excess
は
propellant
剥がれ
is
てる
not
の
needed.
は、
So that's
こ
what we're
の
seeing
粒
right
子
now.
は
That
氷
is
で
a
す。
planned vent.
Yeah, this is
船
this is
体
actually
に、
good that they are able to do all of
船
this.
体
And
がもの
also,
すごい
don't
冷え
be
てたん
nervous
で、
about
さっき
all of these
地
chunks
上に
flying
いた
away
時
there.
ね、
That's ice.
That's ice.
燃料入れたり
That's
して、
just ice. It's
めちゃめ
very
ちゃ
cold propellant.
船体が冷たかったの
So
で、
far, we are
その時に
doing
張り付い
good.
た氷ですね。
You may notice that
これが
a
剥がれ
bunch
て
of
るのが
these
見えます
chunks are
よ。
also like flaky, just like ice. It's ice, and you can see some of it also on the side of the tank as well, shaking off. But I'm happy about this. This so far looks stable, a lot better than the last flight.
こ
And
れ
you
地
can
球で
also
す
see
ね。
on
うっすら見え
the
てんの。
bottom right
うっすら
corner they have
うっすら
also
この
an attitude.
ふわーってしてるのが、
3D space. That's
これ地
amazing.
球ですね。この
They
辺
have
ね。
an attitude, sort of
海の輪郭が見えてますね。
graphic there.
そして高度をちょこっとずつ上げてますね。
Too small. I need a bigger preview for next time. It almost looks 3D. Like they've got the KSP gyroscope kind of overlay effect going on there.
あ、でもまだこんなとこなんだ。
Yeah,
まだア
it's
メリカ
doing
からあんま
good.
り
It's doing
離れ
good.
てないですね。
So far, everything we're seeing Starship now way beyond the Gulf, already over the Atlantic Ocean, on its way to Africa. So this is good. This is at this point,
便利
the
ですね。
last flight, we were already
地球の
knowing
今
that
どこにいる
something
かっ
was
て
off.
分かっ
So
て
the
とて
fact
も
that
便
we
利。
are still positive is progress.
And as we get our first view inside the
これが、
payload base section, those 8 Starlink simulators,
ペアリングの中ですね。
CFTVs as well. Let's keep an eye out for
こ
those
れ
as well
が、
that we saw with ship there.
衛星です。
But there we go.
スターリンク衛
Alex,
星
this
で
red
す。
color, this is just the sunset, right?
Yep, Starship is going into Earth's shadow, so it's getting some of that sunset color in there. I was very happy with that view of the inside of the payload bay. This time, I don't see any bits of like ice floating. Last time around, we thought that was normal. We later found out that they had a breach on the pressurization
ちょ
system
こっ
of the
とずつ上げて
methane
ます
tank.
ね。
So not seeing them on this flight kind of makes me think that they no longer have that issue, and therefore
Did
it's
we just see some
nominal now
lightning?
to-
Sorry to interrupt, but I think we're
Ooh.
seeing city lights
Was
and
it?
perhaps some lightning from over the Gulf there. Or just if we look at the diagram, Starship was just past the Caribbean, so that might have been maybe from South America. I'm not sure.
ここ
Forgive
が
me. But
あ
if
れ
you
なん
were
です
in
ね。
the
ペッツの
Caribbean, if
口
you
で
were
すね。
in one of those areas that managed to see
多
Starship
分。
launch, remember we want to see all
そう
of
な
your
のかな
guys'
これ、
experiences.
ここが開くの
But
かな
remember, watch the rocket launch with your eyes. Don't film it with your phone. But if you did get any cool snaps, do tag us on all of the social media platforms, X, Facebook, Instagram, all of them. And it looks like the cops, Alex, have returned to that the closest checkpoint, the closest roadblock there, back on the
なんか
ground.
光が入ってきてますね。
In space.
You see on the right side is the door, right? Like if I'm
これ
seeing straight on the
光
right side, you can see
ってこと
the
は、
shape of the door.
あ、口ここなんだ。
And,
口
the
ここ
next
じゃ
step,
ない。
of course, for them would be to open that
多分
door.
口ここですよ。
And then
We're seeing some sort of
え、
vapor.
あ、です
some
よ
sort
ね。
of
口ここだ。
there as they are venting now.
口ここにあって、これが口のレールですね。
Yeah,
これに沿って口が開いて、で、衛星はこのレールに沿って、こっちに出るんじゃないですか。こっち方向に。ここにいて、こっち方向に飛び出すんじゃないでしょうか。
Yeah, one of the things of this nose cone is that it's kept pressurized, and then they vent it out because otherwise they cannot open the door. So, whew.
わかんないです。今私が言ったのは嘘かもしれない。私の妄想かもしれない。
Are you still with us, chat? Because that was quite an intense 15 minutes or so of flight. You know, I'm sure we'll get some replays
そう、
of it
話
as
してるうち
we
に、
get
そろそ
towards
ろ
the end of the ship's mission here. But that booster splashdown,
別
oh
で
my
スペン
goodness,
サー
that
が
is definitely going in the next Starship
仕事
intro.
を
I
す
can
る時
assure
間
you
に
of
なってき
that.
ましたよ。
That was pretty epic. Adrian, let's toss it to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Spice.
And the crazy thing is, the most exciting thing that we have been waiting for to see so long now might still come up. Because, I mean, let's be real, Ryan, re-entry is potentially on the menu here. And
エキサイティング。
I
エキサイ
think
ティングですね。
watching the re-entry the last time was one of the most amazing things I have seen in spaceflight. And seeing a stable re-entry again would be the absolute amazing thing.
I'm seeing some of that material inside the bay, Alex. We should be seeing that payload bay door opening shortly in preparation for the deploy demonstration coming up at 18
前
minutes
々
and
回は
27
Oh, you can see the vapor going to the
バ
door
ナ
as
ナが
it
1個
opens.
ここにぶら下がってるだけだったんですが、
Here it goes.
You can see that
今
it
回は
suddenly
スターリンク
moved
積ん
to
で
that
ますよ
door. I。think
ま
they
あ、
started to
シミュレーター
like
ですけども、
Yep, it's going up. Look
Yep,
at that.
there it is. It's opening.
そろそろ来ますよ。
Congrats, Starship Payload
この
team.
一瞬一瞬が、
With that,
ス
that's
ポーツ見てるような感じなんですよね。
success.
Now, I don't want to be pedantic, but technically SpaceX already achieved
なん
this
か
on
高揚感あり
Starship
ますよね。
They have
Yeah.
managed to open the door in space
なんか
before.
サッカー
The
の
thing
試
they
合見てるよう
haven't
な
done
ね。
is deploy something and then close the door again. Those are the two big ticket items coming up in approximately 1 minute's time, according to the timeline published before the flight. And of
あ、
course,
そろ
these
そ
things
ろ
are dynamic.
あと
The
1
ship
分ない
could
で
be
す
in a
よ。
slightly different trajectory. We're there in the planned trajectory at least, but things
ちなみ
could
に
be
こ
slightly different based
う、
on the live
降って
timing.
る
The ship
この
is
細
in
かいの
control
も氷に
of
す
the mission right now. There's nobody on the
メ
ground
タンの
at Starbase
氷
with
で
the
すね。
joystick. Das isn't on his Xbox controller flying the ship
この
right
今
now.
ちょろちょ
The
ろ見
ship
え
is
て
in
る
control of the
ちっちゃい
ship's onboard computers in control.
雪みたいなのはメタンの氷で
Has
す。
cooperated. He opened the payload
Let's
door
listen.
for us.
あ、来た。来た来た来
There's
た
a。view kind of behind the
Listening to,
Pez. You're
Dan Hewitt.
looking out into the vacuum of space.
About 15 seconds until payload deploy.
来ます来ます。ペイロード発射しますよ。
Stand by.
10 seconds.
スタンバイ。
Come on.
They should get flung out of there.
カモン。
Do the thing.
Ship has transitioned to payload deploy.
Come on.
カモン。カモン。
Do the thing.
あ、音する。動作音聞こえます。
Glitchy there. Go to the other one.
Bit of a dodgy Starlink signal there. Should have gone by now. We're just standing by.
Might be some signal delay as well. Come on, do it.
Oh.
It's moving.
や
They're
った。
getting raised.
お、来ました。
And there
Yes.
it
出る
goes.
出る出
The
る。
first
あ、
one is
やった。
getting
Here we
deployed.
go.
Let's go.
あ、いっ
Starship
た。
has
出た出た
deployed
出た。
a payload.
あ、やったやったやった。やったー。やったやったやったー。
Let's go.
やったやっ
Second
た
one.
ー。
Pew pew.
SpaceX team's obviously very
Been waiting way
happy.
too long to do that.
Hi,
There we
that's
go.
me.
Second one go.
Let's see.
There it goes.
はい、
There goes
来ました。
another one.
2つ目も成功。
And
少し斜めになってますよ。
This is
でも出
incredible.
ました
You can
ね。
just see them floating out of that letterbox opening there.
Super exciting moment as you can hear the energy in both Hawthorne and Starbase. Everyone's super excited.
Satellites, well, technically, kind of boilerplate satellite, shall I say, deployed from Starship for the very first time. 2 of 8
now another
deployed so
row
far.
of 2.
Let's see if we can get that other set of Starlink simulators. Put my teeth back in. We're expecting 1 per minute or so. This deployment sequence is supposed to wrap up at T plus 25 minutes and 32 seconds. It did look like it took a little bit of time to actually get going. That could be slightly incorrect information from SpaceX at this point. But of course, we have the live views from inside Ship 37 right now. Let's keep watching these Starlink simulators getting deployed. Looks like another one is about to go.
There we go.
either way,
3つ
a
目
huge win for anybody working on payloads for Starship. This is an amazing work already from that whole team getting this to this step.
It's rather interesting that they use the Starlink on the back to push the Starlink on the front.
戻っ
And
て
then
く
the
る
one
ん
on
で
the
すね。
back slides back
射出し
and then
た
it gets
この
pushed itself out.
なんていうのカタパルト
We just saw the
押したら元
the
に戻
first
って
one
くる
on
んで
this
す
row
ね
and。now the second one.
Look at this from
あ、やっぱりこれ、あ、
top down,
口これだ。
looking down. They're getting deployed. I
ここ開い
wonder
て
if they
る。
are prioritizing the internal
こっ
views.
ち
It
側
would
開い
be
てます。
incredible to get a view of the outside of the ship. I'm sure everybody watching on from the Rocket Ranch outpost is going to be very happy with those deployments as well. Fingers crossed we get some sort of external view of the ship there.
ロケット右パスが見た人はちょっと幸せになり
Inside
ま
at
す。
least so far. And we can see that rail system going once again. Looks like another deployment right up. And it goes down, slides down.
これラストかな
This is going good so far. 4 out of 8, halfway there.
Yep.
And the last one will have the camera, right? Right? SpaceX?
今4つ目。
Right?
Maybe.
Please do it.
半分ですね。
Renders, right? The render of the Mars link deploy, the new render of the Starlink deploy. It has a camera following the satellite. Come on, SpaceX, you know you want to. Well, I probably should have said that a few days ago, but you know you want to.
Okay.
Next one.
Stand by.
5th Starlink sliding off.
It's rolling.
There
You
she
can see the
goes.
gears on the right turning.
There it goes.
4つ目。
Just
And now the
drifts
other
out of the
one-
bay.
Slides back. Look at that.
Yep. Look at this is so
One of-
fascinating to watch.
One of the other things that we can see is that this second one, the one on the back, usually struggles to get out in the right orientation because it's like the one back.
確かこのシミュレーターっ
And it
て
hits a little bit the door.
1個あたり
as it
重さ2トンあるんですよね。
Let's see
Watch
here.
this
Hang
one.
on.
Bit of a run up. Let
8個
go.
で
Let it drift.
16トン。
That looks good.
16トン
It dips down a bit.
放
on
出
its
し
way
ました。
out.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like, but it works.
And it's also worth reminding that this is nothing
あま
compared
だ半
to
分ですけ
how
ど、
they hit each other on Falcon 9s, right? They are made to have a little bit of contact. Let's put it that way, right? So a little bit of a ding there on the payload bay. It's okay.
8個って少ないかなと思ったんですが、
Those launches are even worse for
まあ
the
テストに
Starlinks.
はちょうどよかったかもしれないですね。
The penultimate set now getting ready to go. And
すごい
it's-
速さで
might not be in the know.
バンバン
This
打ち出すわけでもないの
deployment
で、
sequence is vastly different from what they do with Falcon 9. With Falcon 9, they
この
essentially
くらいゆっくりした感じ
rotate
で
the second stage to
確
kind of
実
fling
に
the satellites off
打
into
ち出す
space.
感
This
じ
is
で
very different.
動作してますね。
Yeah, on Falcon 9, they just essentially just
8個でちょうどいいっ
burst
ちゃ
it
ちょう
out.
どいいの
It's
かも
like
しれないです
there's
ね
a。stack of Starlink satellites held together by rods, and then they deploy the rods, and the satellites just fly off. Here, it's much more controlled. It's one at a time. There we go, and 7th out.
One more to go. Looks like it's getting pulled back in. Coil it
Yep.
up. Pull back on the arrow. Get ready to shoot
一
it
つ
out the side of Starship.
ラスト1
How many more analogies can I think of in the next 30 seconds?
最後の一つ。
Let's
So-
go, final one.
And there it goes. 8. Let's wait for the camera to confirm it because the Starlink camera is glitching a little bit here, unfortunately. I don't want to say
The
it just
camera is
yet.
as excited as we are.
おー、も
But
う。
everyone in SpaceX is very happy, and it looks like 8 Starlink simulators
すごい
now
すごい
deployed.
Starlink simulator payload complete. Heck
あ、
yeah,
8
everybody.
台
A huge milestone.
放出しましたよ。
Having the
展開しましたよ。
showcase in.
現代。
There we go. I mean,
無事放
I
出し
want
ま
to
し
get your
た。
thoughts on this first. How far away? Now SpaceX has demonstrated they can deploy payloads from Starship. How far away do you think we are from the first real
そうそ
proper
うそう。
functioning,
うん
not
パーフェクト。
dummy satellites being
Ooh,
loaded
look at that.
onto a Starship
Starlink
vehicle?
衛星。
And it looks like
う
I'm
ん
trying to figure out where that could be.
Perfect.
That could be the coast of Africa, maybe, or maybe South America. There
I think
in
that's
the,
the
in the
payload
ship's point of view.
door. That's the payload bay,
Is
I
it?
think, from one of the
I will.
one of the ships
Is
on
it?
cameras. Yeah, I think it is.
今、
I will tease
ア
something
フリカ
here.
大陸
You
の
know we are working on
ちょっと
friends.
手
We are not
前
ready to show them yet, but I've teased you something.
で
Max
すね。
caught the vapor cone.
Oh my goodness.
So
なの
we
で
are working
20
on it.
トッ
It's
プ
cooking behind the scenes. But you stay tuned. Sorry.
So
The,
let's recap what
Go on,
happened
Alex.
so far.
次は、お次はですね、
37分
7分にですね、ラプター再点火、メインエンジンを再点火しますよ。あと10分後。あ、これはファンの方々ですね。
that were not as successful. Now finally they've been able to test that payload
道端で見てるんですかね。あれですね、基地からだいぶ離れたところですね。スターベースからだいぶ遠く離れた場所で見学の人たちですね。
In a few minutes, I think in 10 minutes or so, we should get that Raptor in-space relight, which will allow them to be able to not just go into orbit and deploy satellites, but also come back. Of course, today, they are already in a trajectory that if that in-flight relight or whatever fails for whatever reason, they will still go through re-entry no matter what. They are still committed to a re-entry over the Indian Ocean. But it's important to also test that for future flights as well. So, you know, I'm really excited. And there we can see a very happy launch pad, very empty.
Yeah, the vehicle departed here 27 minutes and 46 seconds ago. Unfortunately, no booster hanging from the chopstick
インド側は多分夜のは
this
ず。
time around because booster 16 went through its intended trajectory. SpaceX was testing out new re-entry profiles with
この
that
インド
super
洋
heavy
に
booster.
着水か
Alex,
な
do you remind me? I wasn't able to keep an eye
夜の
on the
イン
engine
ド洋に
diagram
着水
during flight. They ignited
インド洋
33, launched with 33, but then they lost one of the middle Raptor engines on that booster's way uphill.
Yep, and it also was not related for the boost back burn. I'm gonna be honest, I did not pay too much attention on that for the landing burn, but I did see, I took a look for the final end of that landing burn on booster 16. It did use that backup engine. They disabled one of the center engines on the and by the way, the door is closed, so that's great news because for finally they've been able to do that.
They couldn't do that on flight 3.
Yeah, exactly. So finally, they've been able to do it on this flight. So Booster 16, they were looking to use one of the middle engines, one of those 10 engines in the middle ring, as a backup in case, you know,
これでも何の話してるんだろう。
flight, say, with those 3 engines, one of them shuts down or whatever. They wanted to try and use one of those middle engines in the center ring of 10 engines as a backup to the one that goes out, and they successfully proved it on booster 16. Of course, the end of that landing burn was with just 2 engines, and then that booster dropping into the water. It was amazing, that boom.
Yeah, that was quite something. My fingers are crossed that we have some slow-mo coming up potentially.
I'm so happy to see this payload bay empty for the first time in the last 4 flights.
Yeah.
Boy.
Yeah, I have to agree with that.
And also, like, looking at this payload bay, I'm looking at the diffuser there at the top of the dome on the methane tank, and that was the culprit. This is why, that was why the last flight failed. We also can see some of the COPVs there inside of the payload bay. This is why Ship 36 exploded. One of those failed on the test stand at Massey's.
スターシップのメインエンジンを再度点火します。そういう試験をしますよ。
Finally, we get to see payload deploy on Starship, and those COPVs did not cause any issues this time around. That was super nice.
Redemption for Ship 36's failure at the Massey's outpost 2 months ago. Ship 37 has completed of its 3 in-space objectives. Don't go anywhere, folks. We might be half an hour into this mission,
ちょっとこれまとめてあるんですけれども、
of flight to come. We have a Raptor in space
メインエンジンの再点火非常に難しいです。
entry interface. We should be
地上にい
starting
る
the
とき
entry in
は
about 15 minutes
比較
time,
的
and then
簡
about
単につく
15
んです
minutes
が、
after that, we should be
宇宙に行く
upping
と、
it
まあ、重力はかからないので、
in the daytime.
燃料がふわふわ浮いちゃうんですね。
A soft splashdown of ship
でそれを
7, which is going to be
エンジン側に押し付ける技術はあるんですけど、
going to be quite a sight. We have seen that
完璧でもない、すごい完璧っていうわけではないので、
Block 1 vehicles, and then we've also
それの
seen
テストですね。
kind of a partial splashdown success with the first
絵を描けばよかったんですが、
the little flap that could, as we
なん
like
か、
to call it, was kind
なんか
of
いい絵ないか
disintegrating
な。
on its way back in. But Alex, that little flap that could, that shouldn't be a problem anymore, because if we cast our minds back to this time last year,
スーパーヘビーの絵で、
redesigned the forward flaps of the ship. We were like, oh no, this is going to look horrible. It doesn't actually look
今これ
horrible in my
スターシップなんでちょっと違うんですが、ものは違うんですけれども、
those new forward flap designs yet because they haven't been able to get
上にここが液体酸素、液体メタン。
Ooh, look at that. Redemption! Of course, redemption. Whew.
あ、なんかすごいことになってる。
Yeah, so
あ、
just to
これ
make sure
打ち上げの、今回の打ち上げの写真ですね。
Caesar out there shooting the liftoff of this very same flight that is currently above Earth.
これ多分後で T シャツとかにして、T シャツとか壁掛けとかにして販売すると思うんですよ。これかっこいいと思う人はですね、NSF 販売すると思うので。してますね。75ドル。1万円ぐらい？ このプリントしたやつを、売ってますんで。あ、本だ。
And I believe we have the photographer of said print with us right now, Mr. Jack Beyer, back in the air conditioning after watching Starship Flight 10 from the roof of the Margaritaville Beach Resort on South Padre Island. Jack, how are you feeling? Ship has deployed Starlink simulators and the door closed.
これタンクの中なんですけども、上と下に分かれてて、真ん中式データが入ってます。上が液体酸素、下が液体メタンです。で、下、エンジンに近い方に液体メタン、液体酸素に集まってほしいんですね。なので、上にガスを充満させます。で、ガスに乗って押してもらう。プラス、加速するんですね。加速用の小さいスラスターがついてて、それで船を前進させます。そうすると燃料がエンジン側に落ちて、で、パイプを伝わってエンジンへ行く。で、そういうことをやらないといけないんですね。それが大変なんですね。それの試験を今からしますよ。あと4分後。4分後。4分だと。それからこれはキャイルの形ですね。タイルの形です。タイネスタイルの形です。それだけ今回タイネスタイル力入れてるという話ですよ。
And in the future, I mean, some Starlinks might be deployed into higher orbits. It'll need to relight the engines, right? In general,
もう真っ暗ですね。地球真っ暗。
Sort of stuff. And we have now, look at that. Look at that. This is from Max, if I'm not mistaken, of that amazing vapor cone.
Yeah, I mean, holy vapor cone, as he would say. That was quite something to see on the vehicle's way uphill. And if you want to get that and put it on your wall, that specific moment in time, Max Evans can do just that for you. Available at shop.nasaspaceflight.com. One of 3 prints, I think, that are now on the store. There's probably more coming as well. So if you want to remember this launch, that is one way to do it. That is, I might have to pick that one up, because that is, I think, one of the coolest photos ever taken of Starship. Like, hands down. We've seen Starship launch 10 times now. I think that might be the
なんか
prettiest.
こういうのはね、なんかアメリカらしいです
If
ね。
you want to talk about your beloved store.
その場で写真撮
Yeah,
っ
I'm
て、
sorry, I had to step away because
その
we
場で
got
なん
that
か
on.
プリント
Lindsay
して
is
も
also working in the
サイト
background,
でも
making
売
sure
ってる
we're
みたい
getting
なね。
like everything here ready.
なんか
So
アメリ
for to
アメ
print,
リ
I
カっ
mean,
ぽいですね
at。the moment I saw Max getting that vapor cone. I mean, that's just ridiculous. That so
まあ
yeah,
真っ暗。
we
真っ暗だけど、
we had to get that on.
もうコード落としてるので、さっき190キロまであったんですけど、もう40キロ落ちてますね。
I quickly fixed it because it said star zip, not starship. So
That's part of the problem. You know, it's we are super excited about all of this.
yeah, I'm sorry. It's already fixed.
But there we go. A
今から
live
くっ
view
つ
of
きますよ。
the engine bay of Ship 37. 6 Raptor vacuums, 6
採点
Raptor
化
sea
します
levels.
よ。今から。
Jack, we're expecting one of those sea level engines to reignite ever so shortly. How are you feeling? We're finally in space.
ん来るかな
Jack is
We're not
muted.
hearing you, Jack.
なんかちょいちょい明るくなりますね。
Sorry, I'm like riding the adrenaline
もしかした
right
ら
now.
もう
I'm doing great. This is amazing. I hope they can get this engine
プラズマ化
lit,
してるの
because
かも
that
しれ
would
ない。
open the door
全
to
体がプラズマに
orbital
覆われ
Starship
てるのかも。
flights, potentially including actual Starlink flights deploying actual Starlink payloads, especially given that deploy went well. So
ね、今明るくなりましたね。
Already opened the door. They did that 20 minutes ago.
no, I'm saying, given that test went well, if they can get this relight test done, then Starship's basically good for orbital ops, right? They can start deploying real Starlinks.
Few seconds.
Potentially.
We want to see some
We are
light
a
here.
few seconds away.
Engine graphic?
All eyes on that engine graphic and on the live views from Ship 37 right now. We're expecting one Raptor sea level engine right now.
There we go.
採点化来ました。あ、来た。来た。
Wow.
Let's go!
あ、やった。
And
イ
let's go.
ェーイ。
Confirmed the
採点化成功。
those center
あ
Raptor、
一瞬だけなんだね。
Second time we've done that. Super exciting. Huge congrats to the team on this milestone.
うん。
Nominal.
ついだから OK ってことですね。
There we go. SpaceX Mission Control saying everything
う
is
ん。採点化
normal
も
with
で
that
きた。あ、
ship.
おもちゃある。
Wonderful live demonstration from Dan Hewitt here. But we can see
Starship だ。
that in
Starship
space
のおもちゃ。
relight complete over, I believe we're over South Africa right now.
うん、キラ
Starship
キラ
is now
光ってます
heading
ね。
towards the Indian Ocean. Can you believe it? Liftoff was 38 minutes ago. It feels like it was 5 seconds ago. We are under 10 minutes away from entry interface of Starship
yeah.
Flight 10.
Get ready for
そう
entry.
そうそう。インダイに向かってますよ。
Holy cow. So yeah, that's 2 successful
今、
in-space relights with
アフリ
Raptor.
カ
Hopefully
の
that opens the door to
南
orbital
端
flights with Starship. I would be so
い
very,
ますよ。
very happy if we can start getting
高度は
Starships
どん
to
どん下がっ
actually
てま
orbit,
す
because
ね。
that's one step closer to getting Starships to come back here to the launch site and land on the tower.
これどこ
Deep
に置い
breaths,
たらいいんだろう。
everybody. Deep breaths.
全部
So-
Yeah, it's like, okay,
どこの情報も見たいですね。
now we have re-entry.
重要ですね。
Yeah.
Starship.
Go on, Alex.
I was gonna say,
これ
so far it has demonstrated today that it can go into orbit, deploy satellites, and most
えっ
importantly,
と、
deorbit,
47分
right?
29秒
Like, that is what
体験
Falcon
突
9
入
does with Starlinks. Like,
します
there you
よ。
go.
あと、
SpaceX, replace it. No,
あと
I'm
何
just
分後
joking.
We have another
Hey,
print
あと8分後 ?8 分後
This one's from
大気圏
Tyler.
突入します。
Look at that vehicle go.
こ
If you
っから
want this
真
on
骨
your
頂
wall,。I've said it before and I'll say it again. The prints are a fantastic way to support the show.
今度は金属タイル、
Jack,
アクティブ
you can speak to this
冷
way more
却
than
タ
I
イル
can, but a portion of that print sale goes directly to you.
テスト始まりますよ。
You
いつもの、
you can
ほぼ
reinvest
ほ
in your gear, get better imagery, get more
いつものタイルなんですが、いつもの耐熱タイルなんですが、
if you want to support Tiger individually, there's that
一
print.
部金
We have
属
a
タイル
Jack
使っ
print,
て
we
ま
have a
す。
Max print. We have so many
そ
prints.
し
We have a
て
Caesar print.
液体メタン通して
store is the best way to support our photographers.
金属の表面から汗をかくような感じで、冷やしますよ。能動的に冷やします。
And also, it's with launches such as today, where we had to wait for the third attempt.
それがまた見もの。
Expenses add up. hotel rooms, gas, food, all of that. So the third time's a charm shirt also exists to celebrate the fact that it actually did go today.
こういうワッペン
And
と
of
か
course,
作
there
って
is
る
the
売ってる
FLIGHT10
っていう。
patch, which exists. And
ね、
once it's gone,
買
it's
ってねっていう
gone.
プロモーション
It
です
also
ね。
comes in sticker forms and in a bunch of other ways as well,
まあこの、
including
まあ
on
大手なんで
clothing
ね。
like the shirt that I'm wearing right now, which is excellent. So yeah, that is all the different ways you can support us.
一応ね、アマチュアの人たちの集まりなんですよね。NSF ね。NASA スペースフライトのジャーナリストたちの集合体でもあり、アマチュア宇宙愛好家の集まりでもあり。あ、来ましたよ。
I think Kevin, we should release that now. Give me 2 minutes.
Let's give Adrian a minute to get
47分
that, special
29秒で大気圏突入です。
But yeah,
あと6分です。あと6分。
Alex, do you know what it is? Is this just sunrise, maybe?
It looks like
Yeah, they're
venting
doing
caught in the
some
light.
venting there. And
あと
it's
6
now
分
in
とは言いましたけど、
sunrise. It's already
もう
now
121キロしかないので、
passing Madagascar there, as you can see
半分大気圏突入してるっちゃ突入してるんですよね。
bottom right.
I bet everybody in Madagascar right now
なので、もう
has
なんか
an
プラズマ
amazing view of this
として
jellyfish
この
situation
明るく
going
見え
on
てます
above
よ。
their heads.
Yeah. That is,
マダガスカル
that
上
would be
空
quite something just to wake up to. Look out of your bedroom window, open the
あ、マ
curtains,
ダガ
and
ス
then
カル上
suddenly
空
you
だ。
see a starship venting as it approaches the Indian Ocean there. Goodness, I can only
もう
imagine
南アフリ
it.
カから
Oh, we're entering
飛び出して、
daylight for the ship. We're entering
マダガスカル島のところに入ってますね。
5 minutes away from entry interface.
They're also building up a little bit of plasma now because they are
この
low
ちょろ
enough
っ
that
と
they're
見えてる
now
これね、
in entry. The ship is also in entry
島なんですよ、
as
マダ
well.
ガスカル島。
So everything so far you can see on the
その
graphic
上
on the
空
bottom
です
right
ね。
as well the attitude of the ship.
Kind of at that 45-ish degree angle, that side-on angle.
船はこれだけ立ったような形になってまして、
of the atmosphere. Of course, as in
船のこの底面全体で、
before they hit that Raptor relight,
大気
they
圏
didn't
を
know if
の
the Starship
風という
2
か
could
空気を
relight
つかむという
engines
か
in space. So that is a really
空
important
気を使って
milestone.
全体的にブレーキかけてますね。
Today. It also is a really nicely timed flight. I don't know if SpaceX does this intentionally, but you know, it's almost perfect for the YouTube things because it gives us something brand new to talk about every 20 minutes. I think people in chat are probably very happy about that. But look at these views from inside the engine bay. This is now being lit up by the...
So gorgeous.
Yeah, I mean, just... I don't believe we've had this particular view at this point in flight before. So let's just stand by and continue watching.
ちなみに
because,
ここに
oh
エンジンの名前
my
が
goodness,
書いてます
look
よ。
at this around the flap. This is...
Flap.
So cool.
33台のエンジン、33台。
I'm so glad the ship appears to be in a stable orientation
あ
and
の、
attitude.
スーパーヘビーが
This is
33
exactly
台。
what we wanted to see at this point in
ス
flight.
ターシップが
Now,
6台。
hopefully it
全
gets
部名前
into
書いてます。
entry and
名
can
前を
get
全部
through
確認
it.
してます
I
よ。
hope so.
Yeah, we are keeping an eye on all of these things.
Yeah, quick mention. I want to quickly mention this just a minute. While you're ordering, our new collection designed by Jack is ready. Re-entry
船全体
redemption.
が
There you can see it.
プラズマに包まれてますね。
You can see it on the top tab in the collections. Re-entry redemption. Also
すで
the
に
Starship Flight Test collection, stickers, shirts, everything available. Let's go back to the ship.
Quickest merch plug in human history. Back on board with Ship 37. This is one of the forward flaps, I believe. We can see that purple plasma now forming around the front of the vehicle.
Finally, they get to test the new forward flaps.
Let's
It's
go.
been a huge part. It's been a huge part of Block 2. You know, we've fretted over the design of these forward flaps just from an aesthetic perspective for a long time. It feels like years and years and years from the first time that we heard about this flap design change in like a Tim Elon Starbase tour kind of situation, like years ago. And sure enough, now they finally, after so many flights of Block 2, get to test this new design
前の方の
on
フラット
entry,
の絵
allowing
で
them
す
a
ね。
little bit better control
これ
and
後ろですね。
allowing those flaps to be a little bit out of the way of that re-entry plasma and shielded more by the fuselage. So hopefully they can do their job. Look at them actuating, you guys. Oh,
yeah.
my god.
いや従来は、この体験突入中の映像って流せなかったんですが、スターシップは、地球上にスターリンクがいるので、スターリンクに向かって電波を流して、この映したカメラの映像をスターリンクに向かって流してあげて、で、それを、まあ、中継できてるっていう形になってます。こういうことをやってるのも、スターシップが初めてなんですよね。この船初めてが多いんですよ。初めてチャレンジしてることがすごく多いですね。
Yeah, I mean, that would be, well, then we wouldn't be able to fit the entire flap in view, right? I suppose. We'll win some, you lose some. You can rotate your laptop, Jack.
前面フラップかな
These are the forward flaps now. They're fully, Alex, they appear to be, Jack has literally turned his laptop 90 degrees. Alex, those forward flaps appear to be like fully hinged in at this point. So, because they've redesigned and brought those flaps closer to the steel side of the ship, those should now be getting less of that plasma, maybe kind of making its way in between the gap.
The important thing exactly is that gap between the flap and the vehicle.
地球は全然もう見えないですね。もう光。
Because it's one
ど
of
こ
those
見ても
things
光ですね。
that is very important, right? The flap itself can survive. The problem is that gap.
あ、
in between. Wow, what was that?
どうしたんだろう今爆発爆発しましたね。
Seems to have blown, and there are some chunks leaving the ship.
Did you see that? Yeah, there was. Looks like there was some debris.
Seems to be similar. I'm not
あ、も
sure.
う見たんですね。今の危なかったですね。今ちょっと間違ったらまずかったと思います。
I mean, so far still stable. It's not great, but not terrible yet.
Let's not forget that they have a whole bunch of missing tiles on this vehicle to test the heat shield in spots and see what would happen if they had tile losses in specific critical areas. So maybe complete speculation, but maybe what we just saw was a result of one of those missing tile tests around the aft area of the vehicle.
こんなにいい感じで突入してるのは初じゃないですか
Who knows? But we'll find out here shortly. That's the excitement of the launch.
もうプラズマに包まれて赤くなってます。で、高度は83キロ。だいぶ降りてきましたよ。ただ、速度は相変わらずマッハ25ぐらいになってきてますね。
Fingers crossed. It looks as if whatever energetic event was, it doesn't appear
ここからガクンと落ちてきますよ。
on the re-entry of the vehicle so far. My concern right now is whether that had an impact on the engines, because of course the sea level engines will be used for that flip landing burn for a soft splashdown. So if there's any damage, they look to be intact, but if there's any damage,
right, so at this point the flaps have control. That means we're getting into a dense enough part of the atmosphere.
からあと15分で
we're not only reliant on those kind of reaction control system thrusters.
1とか2ぐらいまで下げるんだからすごいですね。
Yeah, it looked like potentially. I mean, there's always a chance that something that shouldn't have an ignition source also caught an ignition source.
あと15分、あと15分で。
Of course, a lot of methane on the ship, and
すごいですね。たった15分で。
Who knows? So.
マッハ25からマッハ1にまで落とすんですね。
Some parts flying away from the ship sometimes, but overall, I think this is still stable.
It's also interesting to mention as well that the heat shield tiles that they removed is
地球が夜なので、夜のインド洋に降りるので、
so the other is clean.
地球側はもう何にも、表面何も見えないですね。見えるのはプラズマの明かりばっかり。高度はだいぶ下がってきましたね。もう75キロ。でも、まあ、速度は相変わらずマッハ25ぐらいまで。ああ、すごいことになってる。
Like we saw with that forward flap on flight 4.
大丈夫なのかな
Come on, little flap. Come on, little flap. You can do it.
I have never believed so hard in my life than into these hinges and flaps. So I'm sure they will be.
Peak heating?
It's.
Do we think they're? when is peak heating? Do we know?
It will be ironic if now it's the aft flaps the problem after having redesigned the forward flaps.
That would be
so
ironic.
far this, I feel so far this still looks better than the last. Like I think this is still okay.
5とか
I
だ
mean,
と
going by the ship graphic, it
タイルが
looks
も
like
う
it's in
バラバラバラバラ
orientation. If I can see that
もう
properly.
剥がれたんで、それと比べたら全然安定してますね。
Yeah, it's struggling.
Right by the bottom on the right hand side by the hinge, you can see a little bit of a gap has formed there. That doesn't appear to be nominal, but again, this could just be part of the ship tile testing as we see some more components being ejected from Starship as it goes through re-entry. 51 minutes into flight.
剥がれてますよ。剥がれてる。
It can hold.
あ、ちょっと私で見えない。
Please.
ちょっと私が邪魔してる。
Yeah, I don't think this is part of the testing though.
ちょっと私が邪魔ですね。
Yeah,
You can do it.
I see some ablative material, but yeah.
Ship is
We'll see.
really doing its best
Still-
to stay together right now.
Yeah, still doing okay.
Yep.
Again, this was all part of
Holy
experiments. They reduced heat shield. They have it's all possible that this is
ほらほらほ
high
ら
level of stress.
見て、このフラップ、
They are
後
getting
ろ、
loads of re-entry data for
もう
version 2
ボロ
of
ボ
the
ロ
ship right now,
Still
which they have
13 more
desperately
minutes.
needed for a long time.
うわ
I mean, it's still having control. I will not be negative as long as that ship has
今
control.
もうインド洋ですよ。インド洋の上。
See around, we have our teams on the roof, teams at Rocket Ranch, everybody eyes focused on re-entry right now. So are we. And at least for now, that aft flap is, I don't want to jinx it, but it is holding for the time being. The ship attitude
全てが
appears to be
見どころなので、
judging by that overlay from SpaceX.
私の居場所もないし、
The engine bay right
この
now. It is
字幕の居場所もないですね。
That is
Whoa,
fancy.
look at that flow! Look at
Yeah.
that flow! What is going on there?
もうほら、壊れてる。さっきの爆発で、
Right?
こう壊れちゃって
Beautiful.
ま
It
す
looks
ね
like。plasma following magnetic field lines. Maybe that's what's happening. I don't know. It is a giant steel thing flowing
You
through
can
the
see the limb
atmosphere,
of
which
the-
certainly can.
On the
Oh
atmosphere
my
there. Look
god.
at that.
これどう
Oh
これ
my god,
あ、上にしよ
yeah,
う。ここにしよう。
Yeah, I think
It's
what I
beautiful.
called yesterday, earlier, the sunrise. I think that was just the plasma building up. Now it looks to be the
すごい。
actual sunrise. But yeah, we still have
すごい、
14 more
ここ、
minutes
大
until
気。
that landing. Oh boy. This
サステルだいぶ落ちましたね。
racking.
For real.
マッハ
Can we just take a
22
moment
ぐら
to
い。
appreciate the fact that we're getting live re-entry views as the ship is literally fighting to stay
Yeah.
together?
高さは
What
66
the-
キロ。
We're just like taking that as normal at this point.
And Jack, look at that. The flap's still moving. Like, they still have control. They're still fighting this.
Yeah, and you can really see the skin of the flap
Wow,
there
look at the
rippling,
clouds.
which is something you can see it
あ、もう
lift
黒
off
見え
as
る。
well. Just the whole the vibrations on the
黒
vehicle
見えますね、
really
地球
evident
の
as。it's coming in hot. Wow.
Bit of a freeze there from the Starlink views, but yeah, continuing. I mean, these are high definition views right now being broadcast through re-entry. Until last year, this was unprecedented, right? We had never seen anything like this. The Starlink constellation that SpaceX has been building for the last 6-7 years.
プラズマのこの流れが
to do
激しい。
this. And look at this, we're
火の
seeing a
炎
few
の
more kind of
炎という
streaks,
か
like, looks
プラ
like
ズ
a
マなん
big
ですけど、
streak from the forward flap. Maybe
流
some
れが
sort
激しい
of,
ですね。
maybe we're just getting into the spicier parts of re-entry right now, but there does appear to be
We
some more of
should.
those ablative streaks.
Yeah, you can see the altitude now, already at 64 kilometers in altitude. Speed still
It's-
going down.
うわ
Look at the clouds. You can
雲が
see
はっきり見え
how
る。
fast it's going
Yeah.
because oh my
はっ
god.
きり見え
And
ま
you
す
can see
ね。
like pieces of debris
速度は
break
それ
off
で
the
も、
ship and then
ま
like
あまだ
slowly
20、
start to float away as they're still on the lee of the ship, and then they get caught by the air current and then just get like sucked away. Get Venturi'd, idiot.
I mean, this is already probably very, very important for them. And I still think this is looking splendid for the fact that they are not having that much data for so far.
Agreed.
I
They're
think we
getting
have a
so
G
much
meter right
valuable
now
data.
in the bottom right of the picture. We are seeing 0.8 G. We're not even at 1 G yet for the Starship.
Wow. This re-entry is so long, it's wild. It's the same as like the ascent burn on Starship. It just goes on for so long.
It seems to be. Is that just me, or is it a bit leaning? Like
it does
maybe it's doing an S
bit
turn.
leany.
Yeah.
Maybe it's doing an S turn. And maybe it's fine. It's just a little leany. It's still good. It's still good.
Yeah, maybe it's a bit of a bright flash there.
Yeah, let's be honest. It's not liking it. But hey, the forward flaps are working. That's the important ones.
So,
look at the catch pin at the bottom. It's also getting hot.
Yeah.
Where they have the clock.
これ、速度落としきれるのかな？
And the sides of the vehicle.
速すぎない？
That's another really important thing to test if they want to start catching ships.
速度全然落ちてなくない？
Peak
heating.
Let's go!
So, it's not like re-entry is over, but it's less intense from here on out. It does get easier for the ship, but it still has to bear the brunt of that force, as it is now 61 kilometers in altitude, still traveling
18ぐらいまで落ちてる。
kilometers an hour.
It's worth remembering that just because they pass peak heating doesn't mean that the ship doesn't keep building up that temperature. Like, it just
That's
means
a really
that
good point.
the amount of heat that it's getting, it's going down, but the temperature itself can keep going up.
姿勢立てましたね。
Right? The heat is the transfer of the energy, and it's building up the energy.
The tiles don't make the heat
ブ
not
レーキ
exist.
ブレーキ力を高めてますね。
Really, really bad at conducting it. So this entire time they're soaking up that heat, and that
高度はあんまり落とさなくて、
radiated off, but the backside of the
速度
tiles
一生懸命落としてますね。
Oh wow.
Anytime views of the Indian Ocean. It's still going. It's still going.
The little flap that could 2.0.
高度はそのまま速度を落としてるって感じですね。
It's literally the Block 2 F flap that could.
But yeah,
I
we
love
can see
seeing
now the
them
speed.
actuate.
It's gone down about 10,000 kilometers per hour,
ほら、
more or less.
フラップの
flap is cooked.
ヘリのところがボロボロ。
Glowing orange. It is very, very. That looks like someone's left the toaster on for too long. That's how bad that aft flap looks. Look at that go though. But for the time being, it's discolored, but it is holding.
Yeah,
And
that
as
F flap might be cooked, but the ship is still cooking.
Yep.
Hey.
And as we were mentioning before, that heating, they went already through peak heating. It's sort of like a stove. You go through the peak of the stove, but it's still going. You're just going down on the heating, right? So it's still soaking up that temperature. It's worth remembering that, you know, when Flight 4 we saw that little flap that could, it actually broke off after peak heating, right? Because it kept getting that heat. There we go. And then we're gonna get peak atmospheric from reentry. So that'll also be a proof
フラップのヘリが燃えてる。
This
ほら、焼け落ちちゃった。
glowy.
ほら、火ついてる。
So awesome.
G-forces,
Whatever
by the way.
happens from here on out, I would personally classify this as a huge success and huge amount of redemption for the program. Hopefully things continue to go well and they can soft splash down this thing, but oh my goodness, what a turnaround.
Look at that attitude.
They're
これ持つ
almost through
か
the
な？
very, very spicy part. Like
あ、でも
they're
ほら、
not that far
速
away.
度
So
Yeah.
マッハ12ぐらいまで落ちました
They're
よ
getting。closer and closer. It's like when you're landing in an airplane.
すごい、
the
一生懸命
clouds
落としてる。
getting closer and closer.
look at that
Exactly.
speed bleed off.
The speed is now
The ship
half.
is almost perpendicular with the Earth right now as it enters. I mean, we're approaching 12,000 kilometers. We're like losing 100 kilometers per hour per second of deceleration. The G meter, 2.3 Gs now.
2.3.
Ship seems to be, maybe it was just my imagination. I thought the ship was pitching up there, but it was just the clouds.
And this is what I explained a few, I don't know how many streams ago, that the G-forces are the maximum.
Subsonic.
That's G low
So
peak.
this is what we've been talking about, where we
It actually
are
happens
going
after
to
the maximum of the
essentially
plasma. The
try
plasma is
to
going away.
fully
Look at that.
deploy those aft flaps and really stress them out. So again, this is meant to test the extremes for the vehicle.
重力はだいたい2前後で推移してますね。
Oh.
Ooh.
Awesome.
これまずくないここ。フラップ。
All right.
後ろのフラップ燃えてる。
Oh
あ、
my god, it
ほら、
was missing
ね。
Again,
黒
we
焦げ、
are
黒焦げ。
putting ship through the ringer on this flight.
でももうマッハ 7ぐらいまで落ちてきましたよ。
Bonkers. Just
absolutely crazy.
bonkers.
上に上がれ
Yeah, this is absolutely crazy.
Maintaining control.
It split off already 20,000 kilometers per hour.
Wow.
going
41
down to
kilometers
booster
in
speeds.
altitude.
高度
7,000.
40キロ。
Oh, 1.5G.
高さ40キロで、
Look how water-
速度はマッハ5ぐらいまで落ちてきた感じなんで、
Flaps are in there.
Front of re-entry.
It's so pretty. I cannot wait till we see
速度の速い航空機だったら、
gorgeous thing. The way the
まあ
metal.
It's called
あり得るような感じですね。
Yeah, I cannot wait. I cannot wait. Holy cow, that's beautiful.
なんか無事に地球に戻ってきましたよ。これなら、
We are now
Before it's
three-
going down quickly.
海に、
Yeah, we
着
are
水でき
approaching
そう。
38 kilometers in altitude, approaching 5,000 kilometers per hour, and quickly decelerating.
Look at the sides of the
1.5
vehicle.
Gs.
Oh yeah, it's like you can see the burn marks.
Of the ablative
Right.
material, yeah.
Right?
Wow.
I mean,
速
at
度
this
もマッ
point,
ハ4、
come on, soft splashdown. Like, let's go.
高度は
Soft
36キロ。
splashdown. You can do it, Chip. You can do it.
They're through re-entry. Like at this point,
Yeah.
the plasma is gone.
SR71 よりは遅い。
For
100%.
あ、そうだっ
for
け
it
いや、
turning horizontal, because it's gonna turn horizontal
SR71 の方が速い。
very
あ、
soon.
違う。
Already under 4,000 kilometers per hour.
Deep
So it's going to
breaths,
enter into that
everybody.
belly flop mode. Oh my
あ、もう
goodness.
速度マッ
Look at
ハ
the attitude. Look
3
at how
ぐらい
it's
まで落ちて
starting
きま
to
したよ。
pitch. You can really see how it's starting slowly to bleed off its
高さ
horizontal
が30
speed,
キロ。
and it's starting to pitch over.
Like a big skydiver, but except of jumping from a plane, it's
加速度は
jumped from Boca Chica,
1.5
Texas,
と
and
か
is now on the
1.4
other side of the Earth. An hour ago, it feels like 5 minutes ago, we were leaving the orbital launch mount. Right now, Ship 37 approaching the Indian Ocean, 30 kilometers away. We should be approaching Mach 2
あ、
very
速度
shortly,
マッハ
and then
2
we'll
ぐらい
go
まで
through
落ち
that,
ましたね。
sonic regime.
Is that the
I don't
moon?
know if I'm.
Yeah, I mean that's either the moon or Death Star.
Or is a lens flare?
い
I think it's
月
a
っ
lens
て
flare. I
月って
got
こ
too
れか
excited.
な
The moon last night was
あ、
a
私の
sliver,
元
so
上
it's
ですね。
possible. I'm not sure. Either
私は
way,
この辺に。
Look at that.
oh my
It's-
gosh.
これが
Wow.
これ
It's
月じゃない
going
です
to
か
belly flop. Look at the
I don't know if I'm
camera
ready for this.
quality.
About to go transonic.
It looks like we're getting those shakes, which we've seen many times before. The ship is starting to shudder as it approaches its belly flop, nearly 1,000 kilometers per hour. Barely 10 minutes ago, this was going 20,000 kilometers an hour. This deceleration is crazy to 24 kilometers in altitude.
もうプラズマはなくなりましたね
I'm。really interested on that landing burn. With that
もう大丈夫じゃない
little
戻ってきた
event
地球に。
Exactly. Fingers
Under the
crossed
speed of
those raptors
sound.
relight.
おかえりスターシッ
belly
プ。
at
flop
that.
coming up. Look at that.
Almost, they're almost.
おかえりな
Look
さ
at
い。
that speed, so slow
あ
at
とは
this point.
着水するだけ。
It is pretty much horizontal at
これ
this
いけ
point.
ますよ。
This is incredible. Under 1,000 kilometers per hour. Pretty
まあ
much only
オーストラリアの
vertical
脇ですね。
velocity right now for ship
オーストラリアの
37.
東。
Our first Block 2 Starship
いや、違う、
to
違った
make。it
オーストラリア
to
の
this point of
西。
flight.
We're now
東南アジアに
airplane
かかるのかな
SpaceX
Wow.
is basically waiting right now to control a bit with the flaps the speed, because you don't want to like go too crazy too early with the braking here in the aerodynamics regime. So they
Oh,
slowly
boro.
increase the drag.
Are
Is
there
that
bits
parts coming
falling
off the aft flap?
Yeah, I was
Those,
just
those
thinking the
test
same thing.
tiles.
It looks like something has shred off the back,
ブレーキ速すぎる
the back rather.
でも600キロしか
You
出て
know,
な
a bit
い。
of a nose down orientation for a second there. Awesome. Give me some
でも
cross
なんか
range,
普通
baby.
の旅客機ぐら
I
い
think I
の
see some early
感じです
signs
ね。
of the engines preparing, because you can see some venting
旅
there.
客機より遅
the
い。
tiles that they had in the leeward of the flap flew off.
Nice.
でもいい感じじゃないですか
Yeah, we can see.
I mean-
we can see.
高度
look at
8キロで
it there. It's
500
just
キロ。
shedding its skin. It's getting ready for the landing burn. Don't worry, guys.
もうちょ
And
っと
remind
速度
me
上がってもいい気がしま
has
す。
arrived at this point.
Come on, flip and burn. You can do it. You can do it. 37.
Look at the aerodynamic control.
60 seconds away from that landing burn, approaching 5 kilometers in altitude, under 500 kilometers an hour. Starship fully horizontal as it now skydives towards the Indian Ocean. We're now going to be passing that cloud layer. Oh my goodness,
Oh my goodness.
Maybe the clouds are fogging up the cameras at this point. Oh my goodness,
It's
this is
so
beautiful.
slow.
So graceful.
遅いって言ってますね。
Wow.
I mean,
It doesn't look like it
Amazing.
should be able to be
400
that
キロ出て
slow.
ない。
Yes, keep an eye on that bottom right.
旅客機だったらかなり遅いですね。
Tell us when those center ignite.
飛んでるのがやっと
Looks
っ
like
て
it's、
あ、
terminal
あ、
velocity.
雲の中。
Wow, look at that.
Through the clouds.
it's approaching
Wow,
the
これ
speeds of
ど
like
うするんだろう。
Formula 1 racing cars.
Oh!
相当速度が落ちてるけど。
Starship landing burn startup.
あ、いけそう。いけそう。
There's the call out.
あともう400キロ。じゃあ400メートル。あ、
Wow.
姿勢変えて、
Come on.
バックファイヤー。逆転車して、やったや
Touchdown.
った
On target.
やった爆発しちゃった爆発しちゃった
That is what we wanted to see.
でも、着水した
Indian Ocean.
着水しました
Absolutely ridiculous.
すごいすごい
Yeah, farewell ship 37. Thank you, buoy cam. Landing flip, landing burn.
もう
Splash out of the
着水は
Indian Ocean.
着水はした着水後に
All
着
right.
水後に爆発ですね
Let's go. They
Third
did
time
it. They
is
did it.
indeed the charm.
Full redemption.
Let's see if we get a reaction from Das.
みんなお疲れみんなお疲れ
Okay, we're not getting a reaction from Das. Oh, there he
Oh, we
is.
need audio?
Na-
I'm sending you
なんか
audio.
あんな
It's
の
on the other side of the planet, and I respect for the
安心した感じ
buoy
が
cam, by
す
the
ご
way.
く
I like the buoy
結構見て
cam.
取れますよ
I'm a fan of
そし
buoy
て
cam.
みんな
Like,
興奮してます
I
ね
like cameras. I like remote video feeds. Good job, buoy cam, bringing us the
グッジョ
shot.
ブグッジョブ
That is
うん
serious
エンジンは
redemption
無事
for
に
the
再
buoy
始
cam.
動再始動できましたそして着水もできました
Let's go to the rocket ranch.
やった本当はねこれをねライブでやりたかったんだよね
Okay, so it
Absolutely
looks like we'll be
incredible.
waiting at the outpost there, but everyone on the roof of the hotel, everyone at the rocket ranch,
満
outpost,
足満
everyone
足
at SpaceX, absolutely delighted.
満足です
37, soft splashdown on target, redemption day for Starship Block 2. It took a few flights, but on this time of asking, they
や
did
っ
it.
た
They did it.
Yeah, so about that block
やり
two
ましたよ
curse, I think we
て
can
か私はただ見てただけですけど
Yeah, you know, a little bit of
It's
iterative
broken.
development had to happen to get here, but they got here. And you know what? When
や
Block
りま
3
した
comes around, version 3, whatever you want
や
to
り
call
ま
it,
した
maybe they
よ
have some more hiccups to get through.
爆発しなかっ
Hopefully
た
not, but
あ
they
いやしたん
got
だけど
redemption today. They got that thing all the way to the water.
着水後ね
They didn't burn
着
with
水は
flaps coming apart in a.
うん
Did you see that?
着水するまで大丈夫だった
Was I
Yeah.
hallucinating? Was that really
Jack.
a red heat shield?
疑似界はキャ
Yeah,
ッチです
we're
よ
talking about the aft flap stuff. The forward flaps, the things that they change
もしか
for
したら次回
Block 2,
しないかな次回
they
まだ
went
か
for
な
like I did not see any burn through or anything. I
疑
don't
似
know
界
about
は
you
キャッ
guys.
チだ
It
と思い
was
ます
awesome.
So awesome.
Oh.
If you want the
I mean,
redemption shirt, shop.nasaspaceflight.com. It's there.
Yeah, not to pat the store team and especially Jack on the bag, but I think that design kind of nailed it.
Absolutely. Also, not me, Jacques. Not me, Jacques.
そうそうそうあ
Yes,
Yeah.
different person.
はい
distinct
よくやりました
different person, But yeah, that awesome design available.
あそうまだなん
shop.nasaspaceflight.com.
か刺激版まだいっぱい残ってるんだけど
Reminisce to the buoy cam that we
これ
saw
みん
in
な
Indian
雑談
Ocean.
かな
The steel side section.
これみんな雑談してるのかな最
Huge
後
plume as we expect.
あ打ち上げから
This might be River.
振り返ってね
Very similar shots either way. Just
リプレイしてるんだ
just a few houses down the road from each other.
I have thoughts.
I've so
Many. But one in
今
particular
回この
that's
ね
sort of flying around
煙
my
が
brain because
白くなかったの
you know,
は
before
ちょっと
this
印象
launch,
的
a lot
で
of
した
people were
よ
asking, well, if this flight is successful, what are they
こ
going to
の
do on the
土の
next
色
one?
が印象
I
的
think
だ
I
った
know what they're going to be on the next.
いつも真っ白なんですけど
on
ね
the next one is improving that re-entry, right? Like just getting it better, getting those ad flap shenanigans off the board and getting a much cleaner re-entry. I mean, that was amazing that they were able to do all of that on target as well. On flight 4, they did not go on target. When
Right, they had some deviation.
ね、じゃあ、うまく打ち上がって、
I mean,
how it's going up.
ね、土が混じっ
He
てま
says
すね。
it's not the server, so it might be
なん
that
か
you
これが
pulled
違
things
う。
wrong, Carson. Just say it, and I'm
いつも
throwing you
と、
under the
いつもと
bus
違
here.
う。
But it's
oh
also
yeah,
look,
the least technological person at NSF throwing somebody under the bus for
exactly
potentially
right.
getting something
Look,
wrong with technology.
first of all, I'm not really good at technology. Second, it's also a very time critical thing, right? Because as soon as this thing lifts off, we are like, let's pull. And making errors is common when
す
you
ご
try
い
to go
ね。
fast.
すごいですね、この黙々がね。
There we go.
水煙なんですよね。
It's
こ
not
れ、
like I'm
ほ
fully
とんど
throwing him under the bus. I also
水蒸気です
understand that, we pull this quickly.
How did this happen?
これね、水かけ
I
るん
don't
です
know.
よ。
It happened. I mean,
ものすごい
the
いける。
thing
これ水です。
is in pieces in the ocean.
今これ吹き出してるのは
I mean, both pieces,
水です。
Yeah.
I guess. And that's by design.
水
They
で
were planned to be in pieces.
この強力なジェット
This
の
is,
振動を抑えるんですよ。
I mean, Alex, anybody that tries to spin this to anything else than a huge success would be
もう
absolutely
水がない
wrong,
と、
right? Like
Yeah, I
anything
mean,
you could have expected
こ
from
の
this
高速
happened.
のジェットで、
yeah, you can.
ロケットそのものがやられちゃうんですね。壊されちゃうんですね。
Like, oh, one of the center engines, one of the middle
なん
engines
で
on
水
the,
を
on the super
出して
heavy
ます。
got out on ascent. Cool. You can be picky about that. You can be picky. Oh, one of
Because they have
これは
they have
発射
I'm
プレ
so
ビュー。
thankful
発射も
for Jack's
リプレイ。
work, and I'm so thankful for
これは
being
ワ
able
ッペ
to
ン買っ
present
てん
this
だ
to
よ
all
ね。
of you, and I hope you enjoy it.
16ドルだ
Thank
か
you so
ら
much. Again, the store is
2000
a
円
good
ちょ
way
っ
to
と。
support us, and I kind of wanted to mention that.
I wouldn't say one is necessarily better than the other. Certainly is a
あ、
much
で、これ
different
でステー
view.
ジング
From
の
the
とこまで
outpost, it's sort of like the
見せて
rocket
くれるかな。
flies away from you.
私、
But when
喋っ
the
てて
booster's
見
coming back,
見れなかっ
it
た。
really feels like it's directly on top of you. It's almost creepy. It's amazing. It's similar to how
ス
when
テー
you
ジ
see
ン
an
グ
RTLS of a Falcon 9
して
at
ほしいな。
Vandenberg, if you're right there at
あ、もう
Ocean
し
and
た後かな。
Renwick, that viewing location, it looks like Falcon 9's coming down on top of you. The same thing happens at the Rocket Ranch outpost with the booster when it's coming back for a catch. It's wild. However,
ちなみに現地行くと、
from South Padre
ス
Island,
テージング
it's
すると
more
ころ
like the
も、
rocket lifts off and
じゃあ
then
ちゃんと目
sort
で
of
見え
goes
ますよ。
past you. Instead of going away from you, it's more
晴れてればですけ
perpendicular.
ど、
If that's the, I need to get better at
今
my
回み
geology.
たいに晴れてれ
But
ば、
yeah, the thing is,
まあ、
it's
双眼
a
鏡とか持っ
different
てっ
view. It's
て、
not necessarily better or worse, but
こう
the
やっ
view
て
we had today
こう
from
見
the top
見て
of
る
the
と、
south,
ちゃんと
from the
分離す
top
ると
of
ころを見れ
Margaritaville
ます
Beach
よ。
towards South Padre Island was absolutely exceptional. And yeah, I have no complaints. I mean, yeah, we got that little cloud in the way.
あ、ここで
But
ステー
that
ジン
just
グ
as
しまし
easily
た
could
ね。
have been on the other side of the canal, and you know,
ホッ
we
ト
could
ス
have
テー
gotten
ジン
vapor
グ。
cone, and the people at the outpost could have
あ、
not.
で、今切り離され
I'm
て、
reminded of Starship Flight 1, where the
ブー
vehicle
スタ
from
ー
our
を
river
若
lot
干、
ascended straight into
上空へ
straight
飛ん
into
でっ
clouds
て、
after like 5 seconds. Meanwhile,
で、
everybody
そのま
over
ま
on the island
降りてきます
was able
ね。
to see, you know, the thing doing cartwheels and all kinds of crazy stuff. So you never know what you're going to get on launch day.
On a multiple
でもな、
times
この
before you fully understand.
ウイニングランみたいな感じになってますね。
It's gonna be a lot. Splashdown. I did
あ、
point it
スプラッシュダウン。
it is vertical.
あ、これ
It's
ちょっ
been
ともう一回もう
Australia.
一回。
Thanks for joining us, Adrian.
こ
We'll
こ、
see
こ
you
こから。
next.
スターシップのスプラッシュダウン。
And look at the
Three
altitude as
streams
well.
in.
It starts to burn really low.
Yeah. I'll be honest. I was
もう
getting a
ね、
little
フ
bit
ラッ
worried
ト
at
ボロ
this
ボロ
point.
でしたからね。
Not seeing anything. At 1 kilometer.
これ、スピード足りないんじゃないか
And
と思
this
ったん
is
ですけ
why
ど、
it's not doing it like Falcon 9. Falcon
まあ
9
こういう
can
もん
sail
なんです
from
ね。
landing vertically, but it comes at nearly 3 times the speed and at 3 times this altitude when it does its landing burn. It's a much
多分
more
現地には、
efficient way of landing
スターシップ
with
の、
Starship.
船
And
が
even on this
待機してる
onboard
と思うの
view,
で、
the leading edge there of the flap
さっさと引き上げてるんじゃないでしょうか。
It is like bright, orangey, flamey red. Yeah,
Now
it's like
it's-
it is toasty red.
There they go. The engines, all 3 burn. You can see how they're
で
splaying
フラップが
as
畳ん
they're
で、
gimbling.
Oh,
There goes a
shedding,
little bit of
shedding
こ
a
う
little
垂
bit of
直に立
flash
つんで
there.
すよね。
Yeah, like mass optimization and landing burn. Very
下の
important.
フラップが畳まれて、
And
You can see it's going a bit over and
で、
then correcting like it did for
メ
the
インエンジン
landings
の角度
on,
調整
for
で、
example, SN15.
こう垂直に立つんですよね。
look at that.
And
It's,
there it is.
So toes.
Orange.
おー
it's an external
It's
tank
right
from
at the
shuttle.
インダヨでも明るい。
Yeah.
朝だ。
It literally looks like the ET. It's
インダヨ
it's
は
so
朝で
orange.
すね。
And there you can see it's like it's splashed down.
で、着水
And it-
着水してますね。
It is vertical, but it will break from the impact on the ocean. There it goes.
で、この時、船の中
And
は、
remember,
stand
メ
telemetry
タンの
flow
ガスと
is faster than
酸素のガスがこう混じってるんですよ。
is nearly horizontal.
なので
Whereas on the video,
この
it's
着水した時
so it's in
に
the middle of the
機体に圧力がかかって
There it goes.
そのガスが
Goes.
爆発しちゃうんですよ
All of
ね。
this is very
And-
important for them. They're gonna be able to
Bada boom.
inspect. Yep.
これキャッチしてれ
Really
ば
hope they recorded
問題
that
ないと思い
locally
ま
on
す
the。buoy cam so we can get that 300 to like 60. Oh, it's me and it's Kevin. You could get that 360.
Oh, that's the
preview that we
replay
saw
from-
Starship
もう
Flight
スターシップも
Is
Oh,
it
so- no,
スーパーヘビーも
I'm so bad. I'm look at
燃料使っちゃったらなんか空洞なんですよ。
This is real apparently. This is not a replay. I'm
だからほ
trying,
っ
I'm
と
trying
く
to
と
zoom in and have a look.
重さ
This
で
is-
ぐしゃって潰れちゃうの
you can
で
see all the encoders have gone up that way.
なん
All the
か
encoders have
ガ
turned
ス
this
で
line whilst people
こ
are
う
packing
圧力
up.
かけてあげるんですよ。
Yeah.
Lots
So
of color
as
bars.
you
で、その状態で地球まで降りてくるんです
you
ね。
might imagine, we
でス
do a
ー
lot
パ
of
ーヘビー
planning
はキャッチされた
for
後
the
に
stream. What are we
ガ
gonna
スを
do
抜きます
before launch? And I feel
で
like every
スター
single
シップは
time
ガス充満した状態で
we always forget to plan what to do
今
after
着水したの
launch.
で
So I'm not 100% sure what to do right now.
でそれで
I think
爆発しちゃったん
I
ですね。
may just have to support queue
これは
because
しょうがない
my
と思いま
screen
す
is
よ。
saying it is 3 hours long.
I think you better do support, Ryan. Because
Kevin
we
is
have-
telling
we
me
have
that
no
I think I
plan.
Can
need to
people
do
hear you, by the
support.
way, Kevin?
Yeah, I believe Jack can hear me. Yeah.
Yeah, because he's talking to us, but I don't know if he's talking to you.
これ
Let
で
me-
また
Before I-
次回も楽しみになっ
Before
て
I
き
do
ました
this,
ね。
because now we have Kevin here.
これ
Kevin,
今
how
回
is that for you?
スーパーヘビーも
I have to
スター
watch
シッ
it
プ
back.
も成功ということで
I don't know. It happens so fast.
次の打ち上げ早いんじゃないでしょうか。
Those were slow-mos that we were
9
replaying.
月、9月とかじゃな
I
い
need to do casting
I don't
9月とか
next time so
打
it
ち上げちゃうんじゃない
looks slower.
Yeah, that would be nice, actually.
でも
It
それ
moves so
楽しみですね。
Yeah, like the hour as well, right? Like where you're also in this weird time conundrum where suddenly the hour just is gone.
The entire
I don't want to
Okay.
argue, but as you're reading support, we're still getting more support, so you better go fast.
We need to end this
people-
stream. We can't do 24/7 coverage, guys.
Yeah,
we need to end this
people
stream at some
people are
point.
putting more at the end while you're trying to reach the end.
ね
It's
もう
like an
現地
ever-
夜
like
な
the
ので
snake
だんだん
going away
暗くなっ
from
てき
you.
ましたよ。
Too much support. We've got too much support. Mike becoming a power.
おかちかはもう夜ですね。
Here below, but if you do
I played Three Little
こ
Birds.
れライブじゃないので
Thank、people. Thank people. Thank people.
まあ、言ってもね、あれなんですけど。番組終了終了の音楽が流れてます。じゃあ、この辺にしておきますか。それでは、ご視聴ありがとうございました。私も満足でした。いい論、いい論、いい論、いい論。というわけで、今日は
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that.
このくらいで、私の方も終了いたしたいと思いま
Next
す。
up, we're thanking the Pan token.
ロシアからありがとうね。
And then next up is
それでは
Ryan. Ryan,
もう
thank
いい
you
時間なので
so
お
much
やすみなさいませ。
on hosting. Yeah, yeah,
Is that
it's
the
you.
most that you
ななみでした。
Hosting the
smiled?
Put
videos,
it back.
the
I want to see if I can
commentary.
line myself up. Put it back. Put it back.
またね。
Oh, come on.
Thank you so
Ryan
much.
Weber.
Ryan Weber as well, also on commentary.